Good day, football viewers, and welcome to another episode of Football 541. My name is Marcel, and I have Mpumelelo on the line with me. And today, what we're going to be discussing is Group B of the Euro 2020 competition. It's Euro 2020 because last season we had the COVID pandemic, so they've had to postpone the tournament and move it to a year later. So we're going to be having the Euro 2020, and we have discussed Group A of the tournament already, which you can watch on YouTube and on Facebook as well on Football 451. Please like and subscribe, guys. We have a lot more to come, including a fantasy team. So in Mpumelelo, just to get us started, Group B, we have Belgium, Denmark, Finland, and Russia. Let's start with the lesser fancied, if you will. Russia, what do you think of their chances, and who would you probably suggest as a key player if you follow any?
Good day, Football 451 community. It's good to be back again. Russia. Oh, I did follow Russia a few more tournaments. I've watched them. There are three players that caught my eye. There's their striker from Zenit St. Petersburg, Hatem Juba. It's been a sensation for his age. He's been their talisman, and looking, I think he's one goal away from breaking the Russian record of top scorers. And then there's this kid called Alexander Golovin. He's been a sensation in that number 10 position. I saw him from the 2018 World Cup. He is a good player indeed. And they are right back. I know he's from Brazil, but he took a Russian citizenship. So Fernandez, I forgot his name, but I know that his name is Fernandez. It's been a sensation in that fullback position. So I think those three players are going to be key for them in this Group B exciting prospects.
Now we have Finland in this group as well. I've been looking at their form, and their form hasn't been too fantastic. You know, I generally like the smaller teams when it comes to these competitions. I remember it was Finland that actually beat Netherlands some time ago at the odds of 11-1. You know, I'd love to always look for opportunities to try and see if we can get on a good bet such as that, but they haven't been looking too consistent of late. What do you think their chances are realistically in terms of progressing out of Group B?
Whoa, they pretty slim. Looking at the quality that is surrounding them as their nation, but I saw them qualifying for this Euros. They had a proper spell, troubling some of the nations that are equivalent to them. But looking into this one, probably they will finish in the fourth position, because what I can say from Russia, Denmark, and Belgium, they bring a lot of firepower. So yeah, Finland, yes, they were there for competing. Like, they will try and compete to their utmost best.
We have Denmark as well, and Denmark, they always show a bit of guts whenever they're competing in these tournaments. You know, you always think that you're going to get the best of Denmark, but they always show some fight. You know, very close scorelines: 1-0, 2-1, 1-1, 3-2. Those are the type of results you get. How do you feel about their chances in terms of completing Group B or making it through Group B?
Okay, when it comes to Denmark, they can surprise you. Knowing that they're champions of Euro 92, they can surprise you. Who knows that 2 is their favorite number? It's 2021, yes, yeah, but Denmark, they're a team that I can say dynamite comes in small packages, because their leaderships come from Peter Schmeichel. He has experience from the Premier League side. He played a few World Cups with them. So yeah, I think Denmark can also be troublesome in this tournament. I actually see them progressing, to be honest.
All right. And then obviously Belgium. Now, I don't think we need to actually touch too much on Belgium. Everybody knows what you're getting with Belgium. What do you think their chances are of finishing this group, which I think I know what your answer is going to be, but I have to ask the question. And how far do you see them progressing in this tournament?
I see Belgium playing the semis. I honestly see Belgium playing the semis, because I feel like Kevin De Bruyne will be fine for these Euros. Yeah, and what surprised me is that they've selected Hazard on the 26-man squad, Eden Hazard, not 23, 26. So I think they didn't much had him in their plans, but yes, they had to select him because he's the national team captain. But yeah, I see Belgium winning this group and then progressing all the way to the semis. Then there it will be their fate, where it's leading them to the final, so to third place position.
Okay, so it's not that you're not sure if they can get to the final. You can see them getting to as far as the semis, and then you're not sure from there.
Yeah, from there I'm not pretty much sure, because this Euros is packed with a lot of quality and talent from other nations.
Yeah, that's correct. They've got a pretty good spine if you had to look at them, because they've got the likes of Ronaldo, they've got the likes of Kevin De Bruyne, they've got the likes of Romelu Lukaku as well. You mentioned Eden Hazard. I'm not too sure how much of a role he's going to play, but he's going to have a damn good tournament to be considered. Who else do you think is a key player that could potentially do well, or perhaps, how can I say, those players to motivate a team, that motivation that comes from nowhere, that spark in the team?
I think Dries Mertens. Nobody has been putting an eye on Dries Mertens. Napoli all-time top scorer. Dries Mertens is much of an impact player. As we know, coming him off the bench or starting the game, Dries Mertens will ensure you a goal. And he's always has that exciting prospect when it comes to attacking because he's playing with his both foot. He knows how to create chances. And for a man of his size, he's very agile. I think it's well known that shorter guys are much more agile than taller guys. So that agility is needed in the team. You can check your Eden Hazard, how they turn around players. It's the same thing about Dries Mertens. So Mertens, I think it's the guy that you should put an eye on again.
I don't want to go too much into fantasy, but if you could, who would you take from Group B to put into your fantasy team?
Definitely Romelu Lukaku. I was planning to have him because on Belgium, he's on a scoring spree. He's the guy who doesn't want to let chances slip, surrounded by the creativity that he has. Eden Hazard, Kevin De Bruyne will always feed you balls 365, 24 hours a day. So yeah, having Lukaku on my fantasy team will be a good job.
Who do you think is going to be the top scorer? Is it going to be Lukaku for you?
I hate saying this one, but I see my idol Cristiano going for this one again.
You think Cristiano? I was looking at. I wish I had the betting up, but I was looking at some of the betting because I've already gone ahead and taken a couple of bets. I didn't really tell you, but I took Ciro Immobile for Italy to finish as top scorer because I think this Italy team, as we mentioned in the previous podcast, is a decent Italy team, and with the unbeaten run, I think they can make quite an impact in this tournament. Because if you're going to go for a top scorer, you have to go for a top scorer that has a team that can progress far into the competition. If your team is finishing in the group stages, then you don't have a chance to score goals. So I think Italy has that team. Time will tell. And I went with Ciro Immobile. And you mentioned Cristiano Ronaldo. And maybe it's a bit foolish from my part, but you know how much I love Andre Silva. I've actually gone with him to finish as a top scorer. And I think he's at odds of 18-1. And after the fantastic season he's had in the Bundesliga, I think he has a chance, depending on how Portugal choose to fill their lineup, what formation they go with, if it allows Andre Silva to have a chance. But that's my gamble. What do you think of the likes of Andre Silva? And who do you think is competitive for the Golden Boot for the Euro 2020?
Okay, Andre Silva, it's also a good idea, but ever since I've been watching him at Portugal, his spell has been heading downwards. But him having a good season in the Bundesliga and being surrounded by the likes of Bruno and Bernardo, I think they can utilize him well if they can try to gel him with Ronaldo, because Ronaldo is always on good positions. Hence, he was my pick because he knows how to carry the entire team all the way to the finish line. You saw in the Euro 16, it was unfortunate that he finished second for the Golden Shoe, but we know Ronaldo what he can do. He likes to carry the team by himself. So yeah, but Andre Silva, if he can try to gel him with Ronaldo, get himself in good position for finishing, then he's a good candidate for top scorer.
Yeah, 100%. I'd actually like to see someone else play with Ronaldo up front. We're too used to seeing teams where they basically mold themselves around Ronaldo, which is not a bad idea, but they're forgetting that he is 36 nowadays.
Yeah, age is against them, but yeah, trying to play around Ronaldo, it can be a bit of a gamble unless the mentality of those players is when Ronaldo retires, I want to take over for what he left off. Then it's a good chance for those upcoming players to fill his shoes and get all the way to the top.
Yeah, 100% correct. That's all the time we have for today, guys. Please, we are going to start a fantasy team. We're going to try and build a group whereby you guys will be able to participate and join as well. We're also going to share our version of a fantasy team and what we would include. But we'd like to hear what your thoughts are as well. That's all for me today. I'm going to hand it over to Mpumelelo to close the show for us.
Okay, Football 145 community, thank you for tuning in, and please subscribe and follow our channels on YouTube and Facebook. Let's keep the ball rolling. Peace out.